the early days of mountain biking, bikes like this late 80s Specialized Rockhopper were still a novelty on bike shop floors. Back then, everyone was a beginner and nobody knew what they were doing. They only knew one thing: they wanted to ride on dirt. Today's beginner isn't so different, and with the expanding number of trails we have here in Arizona, it's a whole world to discover. We're here at Estrella Regional Park for the Hedgehog Hustle, and today we're focusing on the beginner. Hello everyone, I'm Josh Mall, and this is MBAA on the Trail. Race morning. The elite and expert men are out on course, wrapping up the battle for points and paychecks. Our female athletes are prepping for their race later in the day. Right now, our beginner and first-timer men are in the staging area, just minutes away from their race on the rocky technical course. Today we'll be following Jeremy Ruiz. I persuaded him earlier in the week to try his first mountain bike race.
It's just like that time we took the kids on the footpaths at McDowell Mountain Park. Yeah, we're by the campgrounds. Yeah, except it's just a little smoother and flatter.
At the time, I had a like a $200 box store bike, and he went out and bought a mountain bike, and so I said, you know what, I'll try it out. So I went out and thrashed that bike in about 3 or 4 rides, and from then on I was hooked. You know, nice. It's just a ton of fun. You know, the adrenaline rush, the challenge. You know, I think I got the jitters a little bit, but for anything, it's conditioning. You know, it's kind of short notice deciding to do this. So, but you know, I'm confident that I'll be able to do it, and I'm just gonna race it like it's a ride, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna challenge myself and see what I can do.
Cool. I didn't get to join Jeremy on his Friday pre-ride, but I did get to go out on the course the day before on this, the 2015 Devinci Spartan, a bike that is mined, smelted, turned into tubing, and hand-constructed all in Quebec, Canada. One of the things about the Estrella course, it's like that old story your grandparents used to tell you about how they get to school, where it feels like it's uphill both ways. There's something about this Estrella course, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is a pretty heavy bike. The tires are heavy, the wheels are heavy, and look at that front fork. I'll tell you what though, what I'm not having to do is sodomize myself with the saddle while doing a pull-up exercise with the bars. That's because of the way the suspension geometry is on this bike. It allows for what feels like infinite traction on the rear end. You're not having to work and give all that extra body motion to get the job done and climb the hill. Now I want to show you something pretty cool in this bike. We've got this little spacer right here. As you can see, it's a little bit offset. With 2 simple tools, we can pull that out. Just like this. And I like these tools because I just have to carry 2 of them with me, and they can pretty much do anything I need on the trail. So this is what I typically will keep in my back jersey pocket or my camelback. Just take that loose. And be careful, I don't recommend doing this when you know, it's nighttime, tall grass. You gotta see where the parts go as they come out. And you can see that you can see that little eccentric washer and how that'll adjust. And that takes the adjustment out, and it changes the head angles by about 0.6 degrees. And depending on which way you flip it, it allows this bike to either handle better for all trail use or strictly downhill stuff. But when it's in the low setting, you gotta watch it because this bottom bracket sits pretty low, which is great for cornering, but you're gonna hit your pedals just a little bit. But when you finally get this thing nose down, it really comes alive. One of the coolest things on this bike is right here, the suspension geometry, the disc brake. What you've got going on here is with this pivot right on the axle, It absolutely minimizes the mechanical advantage this brake caliper has over the suspension system. So you're not locking up and your rear end's not bouncing around on you as you're coming down the hill, and it actually improves traction on the downhills. Your rear tire is going to be turning a lot longer through your braking, and it allows for better trail braking through the turn, so you have more control. My final thoughts on the 2015 Devinci Spartan. This bike was made to be pointed downhill, but if you need to get yourself to the top, you don't have a vehicle, this is a great bike to have. It pedals great uphill, and it'd be fantastic for a day getting dropped off in Antelope Canyon on the Black Canyon Trail and making your way down to Rock Springs Cafe, or going for a all-day haul in Sedona with a fully loaded Camelback. You know, it's not going to win any cross-country races, but fantastic, good all-around bike that likes to be pointed downhill. Back at the race, riders were departing and wishing their injured comrades a speedy recovery.
Hey Terry, just hang in there. Things will get better. We'll see you when you come back out here again. Take care.
Yeah, well, Terry.
You well, Terry. Hang in there, man. Terry!
Let's check in with Jeremy before the start of his race.
A little nervous, but good.
First race, so just take it slow. It's going to be a little fast and furious at the start. Just take it easy, relax, get into a rhythm, settle in, breathe, and focus. While Jeremy's out there racing, let's talk about some of the upcoming trail events. Oh, hey guys. It's last week and we're out here at the race course doing some much needed trail maintenance. If you didn't get a chance to come out here and help us pitch in, don't worry. There's more opportunities coming up. On February 7th, we've got a scheduled trail maintenance out at the Hawes trail system from 9 to 1. And there's ongoing trail maintenance at the Desert Classic Trail at South Mountain on Mondays and Wednesdays. All the information is in the description below. We look forward to seeing all of you out at Lake Havasu on February 21st for the next race in the MBAA series, MBAA number 3, Havasu Havoc. Come out early Friday, pre-ride the great course, and then join us for dinner over at the Mud Shark Brewery for some of Western Arizona's best microbrew and fantastic food. Now, let's jump back to next week and see how things are going at the race. Welcome back. In addition to those events, we've got trail maintenance down in Tucson at Fantasy Island on February 21st. We've got trail maintenance at White Tanks on February 28th, and we've got ongoing build days at the Foothills Bike Park right here in Goodyear, Arizona. Now, let's get back to the racing.
Oh yeah! Quick chick, way to go!
In what seemed like no time at all, Jeremy was crossing the finish line.
Just a little bit early. Something tells me you didn't set a record lap, man. What happened?
My chain broke, man. Right out of the gate almost.
Wow.
Yeah, like 1.5 miles in. No easy link, dude, because I'm a chump.
Well, that's racing. Sometimes there's a little bit of luck involved. Sometimes there's mechanicals. But,
So, yeah.
was it a good 1.5 miles?
Bummer. Yeah, I was having a blast, man. I was feeling strong. I mean, it was definitely, I don't know if it was the adrenaline or what, but I was definitely feeling better about the situation, but it sucks.
Yeah, tough race.
Next time, though, I can't leave it like this, though.
No, man, no.
A hard lesson for Jeremy, but spirits were a little different at the women's start.
And what brings you out to your first mountain bike race?
Oh, I've just never done one before, and friends invited me, so I said, why not?
Right on. Get her in and off and running. There they go. Well, it's Saturday afternoon. We're about wrapped up here at the race. Mike, I gotta tell you, we had fantastic weather. We couldn't ask for better weather than this.
Thanks. You know, I really worked on that weather a lot. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. You know, we got the MBAA handling just about everything here. So so big thanks to the MBAA for making sure we had dialed in weather. We had great field sizes in the beginner category. I mean, we're still running strong. Not quite what they were at McDowell, but strong nonetheless. Am I correct on that, Mike?
Yeah. Overall, on the day, actually, we were up year on year, whereas McDowell we were a little behind where we were last year. Mm-hmm. This particular race, we were up by about 56.
Yeah.
So we're at 4:39 to close the day.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we saw some great battles in the beginner men's category, 19 to 29 category, some really tight times in that top 3. Same with 40 to 49. And Mike, I got to tell you, you know, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you're going. Racing is racing, and it's still exciting no matter what, even in those amateur categories.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, on top of that, you had the big boys going at it yet again with Tyler. taking the lead on Ryan Geiger on the pro field. Really fun stuff to watch. Two amazing talents that have come up through the ranks and really done a great job. Those guys have been really fun to watch.
Exactly, sure enough. You know, it's a tough, rocky, and challenging course. One of the toughest courses out there. You know, like I mentioned earlier in the video, it feels like you're going uphill both ways. The only thing we're missing is the snow out here, but you know, that's part of the variety of racing.
Absolutely it is, yep.
What else do we got? Oh, Art and Trevor Bushnell down at the
Yes.
Trans Andes Challenge. Can you believe it?
Those guys, so I looked the other day, and they had a 4-hour lead going into the final day, I think. So 6 days, what, 220 miles through brutal terrain, what it looked like. It looked like a really great time. But if you haven't checked it out, Art and Trevor, hats off to you, gentlemen.
Great job,
Hope to hear
guys.
about the race sometime soon, and I hope that also means that we'll see you at Breck Epic.
So, Mike, I don't know about you, but going back to the first days of mountain bike when I was getting into it, I was about 13 years old. I had my dad's mountain bike that was way too tall for me, and I used to go rip it up at the golf course at the Biltmore on the sidewalks after the golf course had closed down, and that's kind of how I got my start.
Yeah, no, I think I was just,
You're pretty much cool always, right?
no, not at all.
Nervous. You know, being a beginner and stepping up to race like this can be pretty nerve-wracking, Mike. I don't know how it was when your first race.
I don't race.
Never? Mike's not a racer, but for those of you that have stepped up, it's a great way to connect with new friends and people, and it's a lot of fun. So remember, all you seasoned veterans, when your race is done and you're off to cool down, swing by the start corral and wish those who have recently mustered the courage to compete good luck. Put on a friendly face and make an unfamiliar rider feel welcome. Or take time out of moving up the Strava rankings to help a struggling rider find a better line up or down the hill. Extend a hand and lead that newcomer down the trail to that special place in our hearts reserved for mountain biking.